video is going to be about theft and how to sort of prevent it from happening to you. I'm sure I'm sure if you're like me or anyone else, you probably once or twice had something stolen from you that, and you got upset about it. Someone I know, she, well, okay, these is all the things not to do. I'm going to tell you the story and then I'm going to tell you how to prevent this stuff. Okay. Apparently her Charlotte keychain, Madoka Magica Charlotte keychain, went missing while we were in school. And she told me, like, she lost her Charlotte right as I was showing her my Charlotte that was in, like, a plastic wrapping and stuff. I just got it offline. And she says, I lost my Charlotte, but I'm sure it's somewhere around my house. So at first she was assured that everything was at her house. And she said she hadn't seen her iPod in a few days. So she was just saying, oh, it's probably around my house, that's why I'm not stressing about it. So she went on vacation and came back and couldn't find her stuff, and I told her, like, someone may have just taken them. And she got upset, and she's like, well, why would they do that? Like, why would they steal my stuff? Okay, guys, if a salesman walks up to you and says, okay, let's say, for my girls out there who might like this, okay, I could give this to you for free, or you could pay $20 for it. Which one do you want? You probably like, well, can I just have it? So, So, yeah, I told her the concept of getting something like that for free is why people steal. Like, they don't really want to pay $150 for an iPod, or they can't afford it. She's like, oh, well, boo-hoo, so what? Don't steal other people's stuff. So I could get that she was angry. I understood that. She's like, I asked her, like, well, during your trip, did you have your stuff unattended at any point? She's like, no. I was like, what do you, I said, so no. It's like, it was next to you. She's like, well, I fell asleep a few times on the bus. I'm like, on the bus? Was it like a public bus? Like, like Greyhound or something? She's like, yeah, it was like one of those buses you go on for trips. I'm like, uh-huh. She's like, I fell asleep a few times, but if someone had reached into my bag, I'm sure someone would have said something. And I'm like, okay, fine. And so she was saying, like, how she couldn't find her stuff, and she was pissed off that someone had taken it. And she's like, well, get your own, don't steal mine. I paid $10 for that thing. She's talking about her Charlotte keychain. And I get that, because the anime keychains can be expensive. I only had one stolen from me. And I was pissed, and I couldn't find another one, so that added insult to injury. Actually, I'm going to look on eBay and see if I can find one. I'm actually going to do that right after this. Anyways, so she was very riled up about it. And she's like, I paid $10 for that thing, and, for Charlotte, and I get that, because, Charlotte's actually very hard to find. It's not easy to find a Charlotte keychain. I don't know why, but it's just not. So, anyways, so she was just like, she was upset, and one of the teacher's aides asked us a question. She asked me what was wrong. I said, oh, she's upset because she's had some things stolen. And she says, okay, that's a very strong accusation to make, and if it was in here, it wasn't stolen because our classroom door is never open. And I'm like, okay, well, so later on I talked to her about it, and I asked her, like, why she got so upset with me, because I was just trying to help her out. And she said, I wasn't really upset with you so much as the accusation. She's like, and besides that, she doesn't pay attention to her surroundings. She's always leaving things places. So, of course, someone probably took it. She's like, if they did, it wasn't here, though, because she goes to other places, too. And she was on vacation for a while before she realized her things were missing. She's like, in the keychain. And she's like, and with all due respect, it's just a keychain. And, okay, she's right. I understand to you or me, we might be like, we're anime buffs, and this is my favorite right here. So far. Theo and Sebastian. So I'd be pissed if someone took that from me. At the same time, it wouldn't happen, though, because usually when I'm, like, on a train or on a bus, my stuff is right here in my lap, and my strap is around my arm. Like this. So if someone does try to tug at it or something, I can feel it. So she's upset, and she still doesn't find her things, and I told her, like, listen, if it's been gone, she's like, apparently this stuff happened over a month ago. And I'm like, look, if it's been gone for that long, you're probably not getting any of it back. Okay, so now that I've told you the story to this, I'm going to tell you how to prevent it from happening to you. First of all, if you're on the train or something, if you can help it, don't put your bags on the floor. Put them somewhere, or put them, like, if you're sitting on the inside, put your stuff on the inside and sit on the outside of the seat. So you don't, try not to fall asleep if you can even help it. And if you really have to sleep on the train, have your bag like this, or something, like, really, like, secured around you, so if someone does try to reach in, you can feel them. Another thing is, don't always rely on good Samaritans to guard your stuff for you, because sometimes when people see that, it's simply, to them, they're like, it's simply not my problem. I'm just, like, glad it's not me. Another thing is, the problem is with her is she didn't really pay attention to her surroundings. So don't be like that. If you're somebody who doesn't pay attention to your surroundings, you probably shouldn't put stuff on the table, because you're probably never going to see it again. So yeah, and another thing is accusations. Don't start accusing everyone around you of being a thief. Like she knows I didn't take it, but she's just very upset about whoever did. And one of her friends kind of pissed me off because he says, "Oh, I bet it was blah blah blah." And I said, "Hold on, like I know that guy. He's a douchebag. Yeah, I admit that, but he's not a thief." And that's kind of rude of you to say about someone. You can't prove he took it. And another thing is, it's like with things like that, it's like a lot of this stuff is just common sense. Don't leave your bag sitting on the floor. Don't think that that there's always going to be somebody there who says, "Hey, you're stealing that woman's thing," because some people simply don't care. And things like this, yeah. I mean, look at how easily this comes off of my bag. That didn't take long at all. And if you're not paying attention, all someone really has to do is that, unless you secure this onto something, because I think this would make it a little harder to take. But yeah, so don't, leave your things out. Don't always rely that there's going to be someone watching out for you and things like that. And when you do lose something, report it right when you suspect something is stolen. Report it right away. Don't wait months and months and months later to say something about it. Because I've had my iPod Shuffle stolen, and I've had one of my keychains stolen. So I get how she feels, trust me. But I was just like, eventually I'm just like, okay, it got stolen. I had to get this. An MP3 player, which actually I like MP3s a lot better. I'm not good with iTunes and all that other shit, so it was actually a blessing in disguise. And as opposed to my keychain, I never found another one, but it taught me a really valuable lesson. So it's like, just be careful of your surroundings and realize that there's thieves everywhere. And if you've been multiple places, you can't just accuse people like, oh, she's been a lot of places, so you can't just say someone at school took it, because you don't even know if that's where you lost it at school. Another thing is for wallets and valuables. I love how, okay, this tends to happen to douchebags mostly, and I hate to say this, but douchebags in my classroom complain that their wallets and their pencil cases and all this other shit goes missing. Another thing is, if you're not really well liked at your high school or your college campus, leaving your jacket like hanging up somewhere with your wallet inside is the dumbest thing you can do in the world, unless you're trying to give away all your money, in which case go right on ahead. So yeah, like my wallet right here. Let's see, where is it? This one right here. I love this one. It's got so much room in it. I love this wallet. And this one, and also, you know what? I'll be right back, actually. Hold on a second. Don't go away. And computer battery, do not die. Even though I'm sure you will say you're dying when I get back. Hello, I'm back. Wallets like this and stuff, even though I hate to say it, like if you're going downtown or something, you might not want to carry your expensive bags or your expensive wallet with you, because my mother asked me, she's like, I spent $48 on that thing for you, and you don't even use it. I said, Mom, I use it during the summertime and when I'm off school. She's like, well, why only then? And I was just like, because if someone takes it at school, I'm going to be pissed. And I know somebody's going to take it, because there's a day where the professor insists that we leave our bags in the classroom. Actually, guys, you guys might just think I'm paranoid, but what I do is I actually have a little lock for my zippers, and I don't lock them together, because then you can just unzip them like that. I have it locked so they can't get into my stuff, because I'm just like, no one's taking my stuff. And it's like, thieves also tend to target expensive-looking bags. Like, I have a lot of cute bags, too. But, like, things like that, they just, like, anything that they think might have something valuable inside of it, they look for. And it's like, if you really don't want to leave your wallet, like, with me, I take out my wallet, my MP3 player, and my cell phone. So, everything else in there is just, So, yeah, I don't usually carry this one up to school because of the fact that it's just, like, someone's gonna take it. Or if I leave this somewhere, if I ever actually am stupid enough to put this down and leave it somewhere, I'm not even gonna bother going back and looking for it, because 9 times out of 10 it will not be there. So it was just, my mom would kick my ass, and she'd be like, well, I'm not getting you another one, so have fun paying for another one. So yeah. So yeah, the ones like this, I'm not really sure how appealing this is to a thief, but if you're also going somewhere and you know it's a pretty bad neighborhood, like this one, I don't think it's an ugly bag or a beat up one. I just love this bag a lot. Even like, okay, with my Hello Kitty one, my Kuromi one, like anything like that, thieves target anyway, because Sanrio is notoriously expensive. So something like this I carry around all the time. it's an everything bag. It holds everything. So yeah, and it's like, and she was even saying like her purse isn't even that appealing to thieves. It's old, it's dirty. Like she has a little purse, and then she has this huge bag she carries all her stuff in with it. And so she's like, it's dirty, it's ugly, so I wonder why they would still. I'm just like, well, it may be old. Like, she said she had that thing from 5 years ago. So, yeah, it's old. Well, actually 8 years ago. So, yeah, it's definitely an old purse. It's actually, what I didn't like about it is she always put stuff in the back pocket of it, and the back pocket didn't have any zipper. So, let's say you put something in in a back pocket of your purse, and you're walking around, and you shift a little bit, and the iPod, that could have, I'm sure that's what happened, because she always did that. It used to drive me fucking insane when I'd be watching her in class, and she would put it in that back pocket of her purse that had no zipper or anything to it, and it would just make me crazy. I'm like, girl, put it in the zipper part, because I have a purse like that has actually, I'll be right back. You guys probably like, really? You're gonna keep leaving? Hold on, I'll be right back. Also, I've got obsessed with Hollywood Zombie, if you guys know that band. One of their songs, I Don't Want to Die, that's my favorite. Okay, this pockets right here, that have no zipper or anything, nothing goes in those. The only time I put something in there if it's tissue or a piece of paper I don't need anymore. But she would always, like, okay, picture this, but on the back of this, she would always put stuff in that back pocket of her, and that would make me so fucking crazy. And I would try to tell her, like, listen, she's like, oh, I don't think anyone's going to take my stuff. That's another thing. Don't think that no one is ever going to take your stuff ever. Especially if you're somebody who's not well liked. They usually just do it because they think it's funny. Like with me right now, if they took my wallet, the most they get from me is $22. And the only thing I'd be pissed about is my state ID, my, stuff that's a pain in the ass to replace. Things like that. So it's like, just watch your stuff and be careful, because there's thieves everywhere. And even a teacher said that. He's like, I've got someone twice for going through people's stuff. So it's like, don't just assume that the whole world is sweet and innocent. So yeah. So just be careful is pretty much the advice I can give you. But yeah. Alright, thanks for watching. Matane.